Welcome everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to replace front wheel bearing on a BMW E91.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
These BMWs are pretty low on the ground, making it hard to jack up the car from front because there is not enough room for the floor jack. In order to lift up the car from front, you need to lift up the car from the side. I'm using extra floor jack. Now there is enough room for the floor jack. Make sure you use heavy duty floor jack. Light duty floor jack cannot hold up the car and there is a risk car can tip over to the left or right. Make sure car sits on the jack stand solid and secure and put something back of the rear wheels to stop the wheels from rolling. Remove the wheel. I put wheel under the car for extra safety. First we're gonna remove the brake caliper assembly and brake rotors. The next step will be to remove 4 bolts holding wheel bearing. You can see the bolts circled in red. In addition to that, it is good idea to remove ABS sensor out of the way, just to make sure not to damage it. You can see the top right bolt does not have enough clearance. Strut is on the way. There are few methods you can use. You can unscrew the strut clamp and move up a bit to get enough room, or you can use wobble extension or a offset double box end spanner. You will see on the way of this video what I mean. First we remove the brake caliper assembly. You will need 18mm socket. These can be hard to remove. You might need long ratchet or breaker bar. Brake caliper can be held tightly on the rotors. You can use flathead screwdriver or pry bar to push the caliper piston against the rotor and it will release the tension. Hang the caliper assembly with S-hook or bungee cord. You don't want to put tension on the brake hose. Next we're gonna unscrew the rotor holding bolts. These can be rusty and tends to strip. I'm gonna use manual impact driver specifically made for this kind of application. You will need number 6 hex key or socket. Unfortunately, it did not work. In this kind of situation, you can drill the screw and use the extractor. But I'm installing new bearing, so I will just drill the screw and don't need to extract the remaining screw part. But you will need extra screw if the old one is damaged. You can see here the remaining screw part is still in there. Next we're gonna remove all 4 bolts holding bearing assembly. As I mentioned earlier, you will need offset spanner or a wobble extension with a ratchet. Another important thing I want to mention is that these bolts are secured with a red thread lock. To make this job easier, you can use torch or some kind of heat source to break the bond of thread lock. I don't have torch with me today though, but the torch makes this job really easy. You can use penetrating oil, but I don't think it will help in this situation. There is not enough leverage with this spanner to break the bolt free, so I switched to the wobble extension method. You will need long ratchet or breaker bar. Impact gun does not work. Red thread locker is pain in the head if you don't have torch with you. I'm gonna remove the bottom bolt first, then the upper one. These bolts are long. Here you can see the end of the bolts. This is the area where you wanna use torch if you have one. This bolt is out. You can see the red thread lock on that bolt. Now I switch back to the upper bolt. This one is really stubborn bolt. Finally, it's coming out. If you are using half-inch drive, you will not have enough clearance to remove the bolt out of the way. You will need to use 3/8 drive socket or use hand to unscrew the bolt at the end. Now we're gonna remove other two bolts. But before that, I'm gonna remove ABS sensor out of the way. You don't have to do that, but I don't wanna damage it. You're gonna need 6mm hex key. Gently pry the sensor out. Sometimes these are very brittle and tend to break, so be careful. Now we remove remaining two bolts. One more bolt is out. Every bolt has red thread lock on them. Finally, the bolt is out. The bearing is free now. Bad wheel bearing makes grinding noise. This one does not seem very bad though. Let's take out the brand new bearing and compare it with the old one to make sure it is the right part. Before installing the bearing, clean up the area with wire brush and brake cleaner. This notch on the bearing should face towards rear end of the car. Let's put back all the bolts with proper torque specs. I don't have red thread lock, so I'm using blue thread lock, which is medium strong, but the red thread lock is recommended. This job is pretty simple and easy if you have torque and wobble extension. Check the owner's manual for proper torque specs. don't forget to install back ABS sensor. The job is pretty much done. Okay guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up and consider to subscribe my channel. I will see you in another video. Thanks for watching.